In regards to this specific race for space, the competition began and was purposed to stimulate downtown economic activity, obviously. And it's a component of the Rail Trail project, the Woolworth project, and the budget, just to give you an idea of what we are spending on the Woolworth project and the adjoining parking areas, not only directly behind it, but also across the street in the Orchard Street lot. It's about $3.342 million, so $3,342,000 is the total project cost. 92% of this money, both including DRI and previous money that was allocated through the state, by state, either through the governor's office, through Assemblywoman Gunther, or through Senator Bonasic, 92% came from the state of New York. So we need to acknowledge the governor's role and our assemblyperson and senator's role in focusing on economic development in cities, and we appreciate the efforts, and that's only a piece of the investment in downtown Middletown, because this money then triggered about $4 million into the bus terminal project, $12 million into the Heritage Trail project. So it's a total of $7.5 million in intersection improvements, DOT money, $2.7 million through Senator Schumer's office, through CDBG money, and there are a little bit, 20% local match on some of that money. So you're going to see about a $30+ million investment in and around the downtown area in 2019. And the construction has already begun. If you take a walk by the Woolworth building, you'll see that. So specifically with the Race for Space project, the majority of the money, or all of the downtown revitalization initiative, $80,000 into the Race for Space project, is funded through the state of New York and through Empire State Development in the governor's office. We launched the program back in June 6 of 2018, and the applications were due back in August. 7 applications were submitted, and part of the process were formal presentations and interviews were held in September in front of the Race for Space Committee. That committee included Maria Bruni, our Economic Development Director, Maggie Smith, who's president of the First Federal Savings and Loan Bank next door. Maggie's here also, thank you for participating. And Dr. Paul Johnson, who's our business owner and also alderman of the 3rd Ward in the city. The notices of the awards were given on September 28th of 2018, and the city began working on leases and negotiations and plans with the awarded applicants, and the leases were signed this past week on December 7th, 2018. We're now going to announce the winners, and there are 3 winners. As you know, there are 4 spaces, and we decided to go with three of the businesses. And these are all highly recommended by the committee. The first, in no special order, the Farmer and Baker. The owners are Christina and Carlos Garcia. They have a new farm-to-table business specializing in artisan breads, desserts, and seasonal foods. The rent subsidy on these projects is the part of which the city of Middletown is the owner of the building and owner of the project, and will maintain ownership either directly through the city or through our community development agency. The rent will be $6 a square foot for 5 years, and they will receive a $20,000 grant, which they will have to match, and I believe they're matching, more than matching, with the investment they will be putting into the building. So welcome, Farmer and Baker, Carlos and Christina. Thank you so much. Now, Carlos has brought up a few samples on occasion, and I assure you will enjoy the bread. The next is the Painted Horse Chocolates. They will be receiving about 25% of the building also. Carlos is about 25% of the building. It's owed by Rachel Guarino. It's a new artisan chocolate shop incorporating 2 former standalone businesses, Fudge and Old Fashioned Kettle Corn. Their rent will also be $6 a square foot for 5 years, and they also are the recipient of a $20,000 grant through the DRI program and the state of New York. Congratulations, Rachel. And the third, which will be a double space, is the Oak and Reed. It's owned by Trace Martin and Joseph and Laura Moore. It's a new farm-to-table restaurant that will take one whole side of the new Rail Trail Commons. As you face the building, it's on the left. The rent will also be $6 per square foot for 5 years, and they received a $40,000 grant since they are taking a double space. So congratulations and welcome aboard. Thank you so much. So I wanted to give you a breakdown of the total project. I mentioned it's $3.3 million, so 3.342. The funding sources are $2.5 million from the Downtown Revitalization Initiative. As you know, we were the first winner in the Mid-Hudson Valley, and that money is now being spent into the community. The facade program is underway. The design of the parking areas are now underway also. That includes the Orchard Street lot. We also received $250,000 through Assemblywoman Gunther's office, $225,000 from Senator Bonasek, and the Middletown Industrial Expansion Corporation, which is an old Middletown group that had money in the bank still. They dissolved and they decided to make an investment. And I know Maggie was instrumental in helping us receive that money, and that was $120,000. The building acquisition was $237,000. The construction, engineering, and design was $2.7 million. The soft costs for the Orchard Street acquisition and soft cost was $85,000. Orchard Street lot development was going to be a beautiful parking lot right across the street, out the back way from the old Thorall Library, $240,000. And of course the $80,000 that will be awarded under the Race for Space. So that difference is $247,000 of city investment. A small piece of the, a small investment for what we're receiving. So what I'd like to do is to bring up each business owner, if you don't mind, and say a few words about this. It's your chance to speak in front of Heather from the record, and the statement on Facebook Live and the city's website. Introduce people, if you like, to about your business and your business plan, and who would like to go first? No one's prepared to do that?
Carlos, you gotta show your... You gotta show.
Come on, Carlos, you start.
Come on,
I'll go
Carlos.
first.
You've never been bashful.
I'll go first.
To the mic so they can watch you.
Thank you. My name is Carlos Garcia with my wife Cristina. We have a new concept in food production based on all European ways of making food. We have a farm here in Middletown, and we are bakers, so that's why we are called farmers and bakers. Very simple, no? We really believe not only in the town but in the brand. We believe so much in the brand that I decided to tattoo my brand on my. So they asked me to show it. So.
They're Italian colors, by the way.
Yeah.
Red, white, and green.
The business is based in three values. Okay, we want to be absolutely local. Everything is gonna, like you see, our slogan is grown in Middletown, New York, and baked in Middletown, New York. Everybody's gonna come from either our farm or farms around this area. The second value is we're gonna be vertically integrated. Again, you know, we have the farm and we have the bakery and we have the store. And the idea is not because we might want to make tons of money. It's because we have seen, because we have been in the wholesale part of bakery, that basically, you know, you are limited to what you can pay the bakers by the low margins that our business has. So the idea is that we want to integrate for two things. One is to be able to pay living wages to our farmers and to our bakers. And the second part is to decrease the carbon footprint of the business. And the third value is that we want to be sustainable. We are beyond organic. We are what is called biodynamic, where basically we don't use any chemicals, but additionally we treat the soil as if it's one of our animals. And we treat our animals humanely, and we eat animals, but we treat them humanely. And we treat the soil as if it's one of our animals, okay? And we rotate crops. We don't use any chemicals, as I said. We use cover crops. So those are the three values. The products that we're going to be offering at the store and the bakery store, everything is going to be baked there. The products are going to be very high-end breads made only with mother doughs and local ingredients. We are not going to be growing our own wheat because we only have 26 acres in our farm. but we're gonna be buying wheat only from New York farms. But we're gonna be making very high-end breads with no chemicals, only natural ingredients, mother doughs, very high-end French pastries and Italian pastries. My wife is Italian. I'm originally from Venezuela, so it's a nice mix there. We're gonna be making sandwiches with the breads that we make, but also with the cold cuts made by ourselves, because we cure meats, and those meats are gonna be made with beef from local places. We're gonna be raising chickens and lamb, okay, for our cured meats. We're also gonna be offering salads, only made with vegetables grown by us and in season, okay? It's gonna be a way of eating different things through the whole season. We're gonna be offering Roman pizza. I don't know if you know it, but it's a specific way of eating pizza in Italy that is the yummiest, if you ask me. Better than Napolitan, but I'm sorry for the Napolitans. They're gonna kill me, but I like Roman pizza better. We're gonna be making ice creams with local cream and local fruits. We're gonna be making our own fresh pasta. We're gonna be with our own eggs and wheat from the area. And all kinds of other desserts. And we're gonna be offering our products also in the farmers market, and we look forward to be an important, we have been working in farmers market for more than 20 years now, and we wanna use that knowledge to help the farmer market in town. We're extremely excited about the opportunity, but not even only for opening the new store, but also because we think that we're coming into Middletown in a moment where everything is growing, everything is flourishing, and we want to be a part of a town like this that is putting so much into revitalizing it. And we thank very much the mayor and Maria Bruni and the rest of the people, but we're extremely excited about the opportunity. Okay?
As you can see, Carlos is shy.
We got a little, for the end, we made a little flyer for everybody to take,
Sure.
so they have information on the.
Rachel?
Thank you for going first, Carlos. Hard act to follow. So I am the owner of Painted Horse Chocolates, and I have been wanting to open up a chocolate store in Middletown actually for over 8 years now. So when I saw the opportunity and this came along, I was very hesitant at first. I was not sure, but couldn't resist. I think Middletown is really on the verge of making a huge change here, and I'm really excited to be a part of it. Painted Horse Chocolates, I am a horse lover and have 3 horses. We have a horse farm, and I've worked in the veterinary community for years, but I have a degree in pastry and worked in New York City at Nobu and Chanterelle and some very high-end restaurants. So this is a really huge opportunity for me to just branch out on my own and take that step. So we'll be having artisan chocolates and a workshop and classroom area for everybody to come down and learn how to make chocolates themselves and have parties. We'll also have gourmet popcorn and fudge. So that's really the premise and background, and can't wait to see you all there on our grand opening. Thank you.
So we are Oak and Reed. We are going to acquire about half the space at the new Woolworth building. The idea with what we are doing is we're going to start a restaurant that's going to kind of bridge the gap between what we think as what we've kind of learned as contemporary cuisine, because Trace and I are both chefs. We work down in the Westchester area. We both have New York City experience. We want to bridge the gap between that kind of elevated contemporary cuisine and what we know as kind of comfort food, because Laura and I were born and raised in Middletown, so this is our hometown, and We know the clientele, we know the people, and I think we want to kind of start the progress of bringing some more elevated cuisine to Middletown, but it's going to be a slow process. So we want to start by having, we're going to have a wood-fired grill that we're going to be grilling meats over a wood-fired grill. We're going to be delivering kind of comfort food, but with a little extra finesse. But we're also aiming to kind of take a shot at those guys on 211 and really keep our price point a little bit more competitive and be a restaurant that you can come by once a week, twice a month, you know, where it's not such a special occasion kind of restaurant. But we want to thank the mayor and Maria and Caitlin for being so supportive of us along the way. You guys have been incredibly awesome. We look forward to bringing our food and hospitality to the city of Middletown. Anything else?
We're only able to do beer and wine, so we're going to try to do beer and wine as best we can. Nice wide array of wine lists, local beers. Try to really support the community as far as that's concerned, especially local ingredients, local farmers and bakers. You know, we're looking to support everybody and really chocolatiers, exactly. Try to really help grow the community and kind of start hopefully a chain of events and lead in the right direction.
I think the other big piece of this puzzle is that the Hudson Valley is so abundant of everything. There's creameries, apiaries, wineries. There's so much that's kind of untapped that we could really utilize. And as a mark of any good restaurant, we just want to be consistently really good. Service, food, beer. I love beer, I love wine, I love food. Obviously, I'm a chef as a profession, but it's kind of, I just really think that there's a market for it up here that's basically gone untouched. No offense, Mayor DeStefano.
We really just thank you for the opportunity, and we're excited to be part of Middletown and part of the revitalization, and we're hoping that the community supports all of us, all three of our ventures. So.
We did mention, we were born and raised here, and we can see the change, and it's really exciting, and we look forward to being a part of it.
The common theme is they can see the change. And that's basically, you know, it's been probably a 20-year ride with incremental gain over the years, whether it was King Street or the changing of the traffic pattern back to two-way traffic, to investment in some infrastructure, ornamental lights. Keep in mind, the changes that have been made over the years have had we've had small progress, and we've always taken a step or two forward. I really need to thank Empire State Development and the Governor's Office. This is not a step forward, this is like a huge leap forward for us, because without that $10 million, I think, let me back up, when people see what's going to happen in Middletown, especially downtown Middletown, in the next year, you're going to be shocked. You're going to see buildings on North Street being returned back to their historical facades. The work is underway. The designs, contracts have been signed, all through this grant program. 75% of the facade work is being funded under this grant program. Pedestrian walkways, the sidewalks, handicap accessibility, streetscapes, the vacant railroad property behind us, redeveloped into park area, passive park area where people can enjoy. The Heritage Trail coming into downtown, the bus terminal, basically the whole downtown will have new sidewalks and will be accessible. You know, you walk outside the City Hall, you cross the street, you walk into a curb. You cross the Paramount Theater, you walk into a curb, especially if you're it's not accessible, it's not handicap accessible downtown. It's not a comfortable place to walk. We've made some progress at Jacob. Where we can, we've cut curbs if we put in the handicap accessibility issues. But it's going to be a different city. The city invested in the skateboard park. That was $500,000 about last year, and it's been a tremendous hit. Private money is coming in at a tremendous pace. Equilibrium Brewery is expanding into the TD Bank. That's a project we took a shot on about 2 years ago, and they are already going to double their capacity, and they'll be moving into the TD Bank building. And so without that push from the governor's office, we'd still be walking in the right direction, but please convey our appreciation to the governor and to Assemblywoman Gunther and to Senator Bonasic on his way out the door. And I'm sure Senator Metzger is going to be an equally as valuable partner to us. But we're excited about everything that's going to happen.